Hi students, welcome back to today's class. Now we are going to see the next topic in interface of Python with MySQL. Okay, so now we are going to see steps for creating database connectivity applications. Okay, so there are mainly 7 steps that must be followed in order to create a database connectivity application. Okay, so from your Python program, if you want to connect to the database, you can follow the following steps. So first step is start Python. So we will see detailed procedures for under every step. Okay. So first one, start Python, and you need to have a Python editor. Okay, where you can create your Python scripts. Okay. So that is the first step, and second step is import the packages, that is library required for database programming, that is MySQL dot connector. I said no, that package we need to import it. That is second step. And in the third step, open a connection to the database using connect function, connect method. We can open a connection to the database. And then fourth step is create a cursor instance. So this cursor instance is used for getting the entire result. Okay, the result set fully will be stored in this cursor instance, cursor variable that is going to be assigned from the database. So from a database table, you will get some values. No, that values fully will be stored where in a cursor instance, and then you need to execute the a cursor instance you are creating for getting the values only, for accessing the values from the database. And then step 5 is executing a query, and step 6 is, that is select query we are going to use. And then step 6 is extracting data from the result set. Okay, so result set will be obtained in the cursor instance, and that from that result set we are going to extract the data row by row. Okay, and seventh step is clean up the environment. So 5, 6, and 7, it will be little complicated to understand, but you just go through every examples line by line, then you will be understand easily. Okay, and first step, start Python. Okay, so start Python's editor, that is Python software. How we will open, no? Python 3.7, like that we need to see, click on start, and then go to Python 3.7, and then this way idle or idle you can open. Okay, so that is only first step. Start Python editor, where you can create your Python scripts. Okay, where you are creating Python script. No, see here, file new, here only we will type our Python files. This is only known as script file. Okay, so here in this notepad only we will type the Python scripts. No, that is only they have told you, open the Python editor where you can create your Python scripts. It can be IDLE, that is idle, or spider IDD, whatever you feel comfortable in. Okay, so that editor you need to open. That is the first step, because you need to type the following codings, no, for that only. Okay, and step 2 is import MySQL dot connector library or package. Okay, so the difference between package and library is what? Package is a smaller library. Okay, then first of all you need to import mysql.connector package in your Python scripts. So you need to write the following command. Okay, so import mysql.connector, or you can write like this also. Okay, import mysql.connector as sql tor. Okay, so you can use any identifier of your choice. See here the variable name we have, alias name we have used. Okay, so like this, that mysql dot connector, wherever we want to use this mysql dot connector, instead of this mysql dot connector we can use this alternative name, that is sql sq then capital L tor. This fully we can use it for in the name of mysql dot connector. So wherever we want to use this mysql dot connector, we can use this sql tool hereafter. Okay, and now step 3 is open a connection to the MySQL database. If you want to make a connection to your MySQL database, you need to give this username, password, and all correctly. Database already we have created means that database name we need to give here. Okay, so once we have created database and tables only, we need to go for this connection, open connection to MySQL database. Okay, because after creating databases and by Python scripts, now we are writing Python coding we are writing now, and if already database exists only, you can do select of data from the that is select record from the table. Okay, so the table will be available in the mentioned database. What database name you are mentioning here, that database, from that database, from that table, the database inside what table you are having and what table you are giving as a in a query, select query, that from that table the data is going to be extracted. So that this information need to be given carefully. Okay, Otherwise, you cannot connect to a MySQL database. So next, you need to establish a connection to a MySQL database using connect function or connect method. So this connect method will be having 4 parameters. Okay, first parameter is first argument or variable is what? Host. Okay, we need to provide the host name, that is local host. Okay, and then comma user. So left side variables, that is defaultly you need to give the same name only. Left side, that is equal to left side, what and all names are given, the same name only you need to type in your computer too if you want to connect to MySQL database needs. Okay, and this is a function. Connect function is available where? Under MySQL connector package only we have this connect function. For that only we need to import this library. Okay, so the connect function of MySQL dot connector. Okay, so connect function is available under which connector, which library? MySQL dot connector establishes a connection, that is, it is making a connection to a MySQL database, and it needs 4 parameters, which are host, user, password, and database name. Okay, so connection object is equal to, so left side we need to give connection object variable name is equal to MySQL dot connector. Instead of this MySQL dot connector, we can use this also, SQL TOR dot connect. That is the function name which is there in the library. This method is available in which library? MySQL dot connector dot connect function. And host name we need to assign here, username we need to assign after equal to, password we need to set. That is MySQL, when you are opening first time, what username and password you are setting, that only you need to assign here. And then database name, under this MySQL what databases you have created and which table you are going to apply the queries, that database name you can mention after this equal to. And we will see detailedly what are those 4 parameters here. So user is the username on MySQL, password is the password of the user, and then host name, the database server host name or IP address. Okay, database servers host name or IP address we need to give in the host name's place. And database is optional, which provides the database name of a MySQL database. So this is optional, if you want to give you can give, which provides the database name of the MySQL database. And then that is why it is given within the square bracket. Okay, it is optional. Specify Python identifier, that is connection object. So connection object is the identifier. Okay, there is a variable. Okay, connection object name, you shall be using this name for executing queries. So we need to use this name compulsorily for executing the queries and for other tasks on the connected database. So that the connection object name we need to give carefully. Okay, so import MySQL.connector as SQL2. So that is the first line, step 2 we have seen. And second line in the Python coding is mycon, that is mycon is the connection object is equal to, see this connection object only, here we have given as identifier, that is variable name, this is general format. And now we are seeing the actual coding. Okay, so mycon is equal to, instead of this MySQL.connector we can use this SQL TOR also. So SQL TOR dot connect host name within double quotes for local host, comma user root. So what name you have assigned for username, that only you need to give here for the MySQL. And password is mypass, comma database name is test. Okay, so that is the MySQL database name test. Okay, so like this you can give. Since we imported MySQL.connector package as SQL TOR, we are using the name SQL2 in the place of MySQL.connector. So in this place we are writing this SQL2. Okay, so if you have imported the package as this, and then you need to write the above function as mycon is equal to MySQL.connector.connect connect method, host localhost, user root, and password mypass, and databases test. Okay, so the above command will establish a connection to the MySQL database with user as the root, password as mypass, and to the MySQL database, namely test. Okay, which exists on the MySQL. So this database will be available in the MySQL already. Okay, so now also I will show the MySQL database. Okay, see, just if you, here you need to give the password, but here I didn't give password. So that, see, we what command we will use for displaying all the database names, how to know which table names, the database names and all we have created. You need to use the command show databases in order to display all the databases which are already available in the MySQL. So show database, show space databases, at the end semicolon you give, just click enter. Okay, so information schema, drinks, employee, governments, MySQL. These are all some of the, see, from employee I have created. Okay, drinks, all those things I have created only. And test information underscore schema, I think this will be available defaultly in MySQL. Okay, so like this database name you can give it in the, in that place. Okay, and the above command will establish connection and MySQL database namely test will exist in the MySQL. So here you must ensure that user and password that you specify are valid user and password for your local MySQL installation. So if you do mistake in this also, your database connectivity will not be done correctly. Okay, so if Python reports error, it means you have successfully connected to MySQL database. Okay, no error if it reports, then you have successfully connected to MySQL database. You can also check for successful connection using function is connected. This function you can use it with the connected object. That is connection object we have given in the left side now. With this connection object we need to check the condition. Okay, so if mycon dot is underscore connected, this function we need to pass it for this connection object. If the connection is not reporting any error, if the connection is available properly, uh, or if no error is occurring for this lines, no, that is host, localhost, user, root, password, for all these information, every information is correct, then mycon will be having the true value. Okay, so is underscore connected will be having a true value. If it is true, then it will be printing the statement. Okay, so we need to give print statement that successfully connected to MySQL database. Okay, so with the help of this function, that is underscore connected only, we need to check this connected connection object. Okay, along with if statement. Okay, so whether it is successfully connected or not, in order to check that, you need to use which function name is underscore connected, and then this should be given along with the MySQL connection object. Okay, so with the connected object which returns true if connection is successful. That is, if you may write the following additional code to check if the connection is successful or not. You can write if you want, if we want to check the database connectivity done correctly or not, we can give these two lines after this mycon mysql.connector.connect method. After, we can give these two lines. So next we will see the following 4 lines, whatever 4 lines we have discussed till now, that we can see in the next step. Okay, so the same object, connection object, with which we connected to MySQL database. Okay, so database connection object controls the that is mycon is the database connection object which controls the connection to the database. It represents a unique session with the database connected from with a script or program. So from Python coding or script you are connecting to the database. So it is representing a unique session with the database. That is, uniquely it is connecting to the database now. Okay, and following screenshot shows you the output produced by the code shown below. So the four lines we have given continuously, if you are executing this in Spider, that is Anaconda Python 3.6, they have uh, executed, so you'll be getting this message. Okay, if it is connected correctly means you'll be getting the message like successfully connected to Python MySQL database. This statement we will get, this print statement we will get if everything is done correctly means. Okay, next step 4 is creating a cursor instance. Okay, so database cursor is a useful control structure of database connectivity. It is a useful control structure of database connectivity. Normally when you connect to the database from within a script or program, so from Python program like this, if you are connecting to the database, then the query gets sent to the server. Query where it will be sent, it will be sent to the MySQL server where it get executed, and the result set, that is set of records retrieved as per the query, is sent over the connection to you in one burst of activity. That is, in one time itself, every output, entire output will be, entire table contents will be extracted from the table, and it is going to be given to you as one burst of activity. That is, in one go itself, there is one request itself, all the information you will get it. That is only known as result set. But you may want to access the retrieved data one row at a time, but actually you want to access the data one row at a time. That is one record only you want to see, but it is giving entire records. Okay, if you have 10 students details in the database or table, okay, student table which is available under school database, no, so student table under, you have around 10 records or 15 records, no, 15 students information, that is 15 records it is there. all 15 records are returned in one request itself. That is only they have given as result set. That is in one burst of activity, in one go itself, the entire result set is obtained to you, obtained given to you. But you may want to access one student record only. Okay, so but query processing cannot happen as one row at a time. Query always whatever select star from a table name, if you are giving, entire data will be extracted, entire content will get extracted. Okay, so it cannot happen as one row at a time. So a special type of control structure called database cursor can be created that gets access of all the records retrieved as per the query called the result set and allows you to traverse the result set row by row. So what is the purpose of this database cursor here? That cursor instance, why we are using this control structure, cursor instance control structure, why we are using here? Because if you want to extract or traverse, visit every row by row, and if you want to traversal means what? Visiting every rows records at a time and displaying them on the screen. That is only known as traversing. Okay, visiting every record or accessing every record at a time from the result set, and row by row it is going to be executed and it is going to be displayed on the screen. So for that we can go for this cursor instance. Okay, but whenever we use select query command in the when we are applying in the database, it will be displaying all the record set fully. Okay, but if you want to extract row by row, we need to create this cursor instance. That is only step 4. Okay, whether we want to display all the values or only one row or only few records alone, that is our wish. Okay, so that command that commands and all we will see in the that functions and all we will see in the step 5. Okay, step 4 we are going to see how the cursor instance is going to be created. So you create an instance of a cursor by using cursor function, okay, as per the following syntax. So for that we need to use that connection object. So that cursor object is equal to connection object. This cursor object also is the identifier only. Okay, so cursor object, the name is cursor is given. This is syntax, general format. Okay, so cursor object left side is equal to connection object dot cursor method we are calling. So database cursor is a special control structure that facilitates the row by row processing of records in the result state. Okay, that is providing the facility of what? Row by row we can process the record from the result set. That is a set of records retrieved as per the query. So from the set of records retrieved as per the query, we can access only a particular row alone or few records alone, few rows alone we can access with the help of the cursor instance. Okay, so cursor is equal to connection object is what? Mycon. That is the name what we have given in the previously we have assigned the connection object as what? Mycon only, no? So that mycon dot cursor method we are calling connection object. Left side cursor instance, this cursor name is created. That we need to give. Okay, so since we established a database connection through connection object mycon earlier, we have created a cursor object using the same connection object mycon, because this is uniquely connecting to the database. This connection object only is uniquely connecting to one particular table or database which is available in the MySQL. Okay, now we are going to step 5, executing SQL query. Once we have created a cursor like this, okay, so we need to use that cursor name here. So if you see, first we need to create a connection object. Second, that connection object is used for creating a cursor. Then the cursor is used for creating executing the query. Okay, so everything is linked. So that only we need to go from step 1 to step 7 in a correct order. So we should not skip any step in between. Then automatically we won't able to connect to the database in order to execute the queries. Okay, so once we have created a cursor, you can create SQL query using execute function. Okay, so cursor name dot, cursor object name what we have created here dot, that execute function with the cursor object we need to give, and within the parenthesis we need to give the command within double quotes select star from data, that is SQL query string we need to give. Okay, data is the table name which is available in the database test. Okay, under the database test we have the table name called what? Data. Okay, so for example, if you want to view all the records of the table data, which is the table in the database test. Okay, so under the test database, why I have I'm told test means here database name is given as test. Under this database only we have the tables. Okay, so table database is nothing but collection of tables only, no? So we need to give this command in order to create a cursor and to execute the query. Okay, So the above code will execute the given SQL query and and store the retrieved records. So all the records, star means what? All the record will be retrieved from the table name data. So these all records are going to be stored where? Are placed in the cursor object, that is called as result set. All the retrieved records are called as result set. That entire result set in the cursor object, namely the cursor, which you can then use it in your programs as required. So this cursor name we can use it because this is only holding all the records from the table name data. So what is meant by result set? The result set refers to a logical set of records that are fetched from the database by executing an SQL query and made available to the application program. That is, in Python screen, we will get this result. Okay. So extract data from the result set. So how we can extract the data from the result set? We need to use the following methods in order to following commands in order to extract the data from the result set. Okay, in order to extract the data from the result set, so you will need this step, that is step 6. If you have retrieved records from the database using the SQL select query and need to extract the record from the retrieved result set. So how we are going to extract the rows or records from the result set, next we are going to see. Once the result query is available in the form of results stored in the cursor object, that is here it is stored now. In cursor it is stored now. You can extract the data from the result set using any of the following fetch functions. Now we are going to use the fetch functions. So step 5, we have used execute function in order to execute the select star from all query, and now we are going to extract the data row by row from the result set which we have stored in the cursor instance. Okay, so cursor dot fetch all. So this is going to be assigned to the another variable, that is data. So this data is only going to be printed on the output screen with the help of the for loop. Row by row we can print, or single row also we can print. That is based on the fetch functions how we are using. So we are going to see fetch different fetch functions what we are using here, that we will see one by one. So data is equal to cursor name. So cursor only holding the result set fully, no. So that cursor name dot fetch all, that function. Okay. So data is equal to cursor dot fetch all. So it will return all the records retrieved as per the query in a tuple form, that is in a row form. Now the data will be a tuple. Okay. So sorry, tuple means what? Here this tuple is the output will be in the list, the tuple data type. Okay, so tuple will be displayed in parentheses. Okay, the result will be displayed in parentheses separated by commas. Okay, so that is only here called as tuple. Okay, don't confuse with the MySQL tuple. In MySQL, tuple is called as what? Rows only. Okay, but in Python, tuple means what? Tuple is a one particular data type that is having the values within the parentheses. Okay, so inside the parentheses, all the result set is going to be displayed. All the records will be displayed in the inside the parentheses. If you have around 4 values for one record, okay, so that 4 values are going to be listed inside the parentheses as a tuple. Okay. So next second is fetch one. Fetch one, what it will do? It will fetch only one record from the result set as a tuple or a list. Or a list or tuple, it will be displaying the value. List means in a square bracket it will be displayed, or a result tuple means it will be displayed as a parenthesis. Okay. So first time it will be returning the first record. So which record is going to be returned? That is a question is arising. No, if you give fetch one, fetch all means all the records from the beginning it will be getting displayed. Okay, but if you assign like this, data is equal to, that is a general format. So here whatever name you are giving, that is equal to cursor dot fetch one. If you are giving, only first record is going to be retrieved. So again, if you are giving fetch one after this after this command, again you are giving fetch one. No, so second row will get extracted. Again, if you are giving fetch one, so continuously 3 fetch one functions if you are using, no, continuously one after other. Then first record, second record, third record, like that it will be extracting from the database and it will get displayed. Okay. So next time it will be fetching the next record and so on. So this method returns one record as a tuple. Only one record will be returned as a tuple if there are no more records. So if there are no more records available, it will be returning what? None. Okay, capital N-O-N-E, none. This will be returning. Okay, next is third way, fetch many. Here in this fetch many only, Fetch all, we no need to mention anything. Fetch one also, we no need to mention anything inside the parenthesis. But for fetch many, we need to compulsorily mention what, how many records we want to extract from the result set. Okay, so data is equal to cursor dot fetch many within parenthesis, that n need to be mentioned, that is number of records. Okay, number of rows, how much we need to extract from the result set. So this method accepts the number of records to fetch and returns a tuple. So it is returning the result in the form of rich data type tuple format. So where each record itself is a tuple. Okay, if there are not more records, that is no more records are available, then it will returns an empty tuple. Empty tuple is going to be returned by this fetch many, but fetch one will be returning none if no more records are available. So here, next fourth one is how many number of records it has returned till now. If you want to find that, variable is equal to cursor dot, okay, COUR not CUR only. So CUR is for cursor dot row count. So how many rows till now we have uh, extracted from the result set, that we want to know means we need to use this row count. So row count is a property of cursor object that returns. It is not a function. You can see here fetch many, fetch all, fetch one, all are functions. Okay, but here row count, it is not a function. We are not using this parenthesis after this row count. Okay, so row count is a property of cursor object that returns the number of rows retrieved from the cursor so far. So if you are using as a last statement now, after using fetch many or fetch one or fetch all, how many records till now it was extracted, everything will be displayed with the help of this row count. Okay, so following examples will make it more clear. So this is the format what we have seen under this extracting data from the result set, that is from the cursor, how we can extract the data. Next we are going to see with the example, we will see how this is going to be applied. Okay, fetch all. Okay, that we will see in the next video. Thank you.